Thank you, Andrew Schultz. Do you know what video games your kids are playing? The Gadget Guy is here to review some of this month's top games. We have a giveaway at the end of this interview as well.
It's a huge month for games.
It's kind of like, I'm going to equivocate it to the red carpet season.
Yeah, so spring and fall are two of the biggest time for games, and then summer kind of dies down. But some huge games coming out this month, and one comes out this Friday, and I've got to say this first game, I'm going to give it away, contender for Game of the Year for sure.
Is this the one you spent 65 hours on?
No, we'll get to that later. But this first one, God of War, this is exclusive for the PlayStation 4. And some of these stories, Jill, they're pretty intense. So this one, your wife has died. You're headed to the highest mountaintop to scatter her ashes with your son. This is actually a reimagining of the franchise. I think this is like game number 8. But this series is known for over-the-top violence and fighting. But what they did with this, they toned it down. They took a completely new direction, reinvented itself, and they focused more on story and exploration. So the story actually focuses on the relationship between the father and the son. You're a god in this game, but your son doesn't know that. So why are you keeping it a secret? So it's interesting seeing what comes out between the father and the son as they go to, drop off their mother's ashes. It's a fascinating game. Graphic-wise, one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. I played it on one of Sony's new Bravia OLED televisions in a 4K. Absolutely stunning, jaw-dropping. And the story, I tell you, fascinating. This is all based on Norse mythology, so trolls, ogres, witches. I can't say enough about this. Game of the Year for sure.
You control the one character, the central character?
You kind of control the son at the same time as well. I will say, though, for parents out there, there is some foul language in this one and some violence, so mature teens and adults for this title, God of War 4, PlayStation 4.
And when it comes to box office dollars versus dollars spent on video games, it's...
Hollywood last year brought in 30 billion, video games brought in 90 billion. And it's because these stories are fantastic. This next game I want to get to, this is the one I spent a lot of time on.
It was immersive.
It was immersive. This is actually Far Cry 5, so it was developed in Toronto and Montreal by Ubisoft. It's interesting because it takes place in Montana, where a doomsday cult has taken foothold in a fictional area known as Hope County. So it's funny because they actually make reference to like Bozeman, Montana, and things like that within the game. But we're talking about a cult leader called the Father and his brothers and sisters. We're talking baptisms in the rivers and things like this. You're a junior deputy sent in to try to disband the cult before it gets out of hand. And let me tell you, it doesn't take long for things to get out of hand. Huge world to explore. It feels completely alive. You can take time away from the game and you can go hunting, you can go fishing, you can just explore the world if you want to. I put in, and I'm a little embarrassed to say this, 65 hours into this game alone.
That's a work week and a half.
And it was worth every moment of it. I'm telling you, and I haven't even finished it. I finished the game, but I can still go back and keep playing. So, phenomenal game. I will say, though, mature audiences only. Don't let your preteens talk you into buying this one because the language in this is extremely strong. So preteens, no. You've got to be mature for this game. Okay, moving on. This one's a lot of fun. This is a massive multiplayer online game called Sea of Thieves. It's Xbox One exclusive. So you play by yourself or as a pirate, or you can team up with 3 of your friends. And you go online and you basically plunder the high seas. Now the interesting thing, and this is kind of love or hate about this title, there's no real story. It's up to you to create your own story. It'll have things like you can go loot for treasure on certain islands. You can just go sink other ships if you want to.
Choose your own adventure.
You own your own adventure. Some people like a little bit more direction, so some people will be disappointed in that. But I love that one. I've got to say though, it's because it's online, you kind of lose control over content. You can hear other people and other pirates talking as their ships get closer. Because it's online, you don't know what they're going to say, so just be careful about this one. It's online, you can't control the language. Other than that, though, the content itself is very family-friendly. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
Do we have time for the wild card?
No, we don't have time for the last one, but Ni no Kuni 2 is another family-friendly, amazing game.
Okay, a title to watch for, and we have a giveaway for you for the 3 games that you spoke about, God of War, Far Cry 5, Sea of Thieves. So you have to specify which game you are intending to win. Daily prizing off breakfasttelevision.ca. Click on through and please tell us if you're entering for God of War, Far Cry 5, Sea of Thieves.
I will say
details on our website.
God of War is PlayStation 4 exclusive, so make sure you have that console. Far Cry 5 is also PlayStation. Sea of Thieves is Xbox.